ways to manage negative emotions is to change your relationship to negative emotions. Instead of using up our energy to make our negative emotions go away, we can change our relationship with our emotions by letting them be in our lives. If you don't push our emotions away, they don't push us back, and we can live with them more easily. We all like positive emotions like joy, excitement, love, and happiness. But we have an inherent negativity bias towards unpleasant emotions like hurt, anger, sadness, guilt, shame, resentment, and etc. Negative emotions are natural. What is not natural is not appreciating their value, their valuable role that they play in our lives. So we must develop a healthy relationship with negative emotions. In our social media driven, image obsessed world, everyone seems to be happy and positive all the time. We feel ashamed of experiencing negative emotions or expressing them. It looks like negative emotions are like kind of a taboo today. And you are not supposed to feel bad or bored or anxious, and you're supposed to feel good all the time. And if ever you feel that emotion a negative emotion, you want to make it go away. And you're supposed to pop a pill for that, or resort to any other methods of altering that emotional state. We kind of live in a culture that is pathologizing pain and negative emotions. Emotions are not appreciated for its inherent value, especially the unpleasant emotions. I feel that's probably the beginning of a sick society. Negative emotions must get the respect that it truly deserves. Emotions, however you label it, as positive or negative, it has a purpose to serve us. First of all negative emotions are warning signs, and without them, life can take a route of personal tragedies so easily. Negative emotions are warning lights. They alert us with the potential issues of danger. They drive our attention to what we need to change or solve. Emotions speak the language of what we truly want. It shows the gap between from where we are to where we want to go. Negative emotions can help initiate fundamental personality changes and personal transformations. We change and grow because of that unpleasant experiences in our lives. Each negative emotion contains, therefore, a higher value for personal development. The benefits of cognitive reappraisal, the widely used self-help strategy of reframing distressing situations to move past the negative emotions they engender, are well established through several researchers in recent times. All unpleasant emotions serve us in different ways. Envy, for example, can inspire you to work harder. A recent study discovered that benign envy led students to perform better in school. What they found was that when someone else accomplishes a goal, others are motivated to achieve that too, because they have that feeling within them to compete, to do better than others. It can fuel the desire to achieve something. Guilt can motivate us to do well and make decisions based on what is better for the common good. It makes us do the course corrections in our life. It can make people to be altruistic sometimes and very caring. Sadness can make us pay attention to details. We become more in tune with ourselves and our surroundings. We become more sensitive to the world around us. Negative emotions like fear are not pleasant to feel, but they play an important role in our life. Fear, for instance, indicates that there is a threat or a danger to us. When walking alone on a dark street at night, a feeling of fear may indicate a threat to our safety. This fear activates the fight or flight response in our body, which can then equip us to tackle the situation at hand. It also reminds us to look around and stay vigilant, thus keeping ourselves protected from danger. Anxiety can improve our ability to solve problems because anxiety can foresee danger. It only becomes a problem only when you dwell on it or on that emotion too long, like catastrophizing it. Acknowledging your negative emotions will not make them worse or intensify it. Just like clouds in the sky and waves in the ocean, emotions are not permanent. They come and they go. Therefore, a major part of managing our emotions is our ability to recognize the emotions we feel. We need to name it before we tame it. Once you name that emotion, you need to understand the hidden message in that emotion. Because we have learned that emotions are action signals. It's your subconscious mind trying to tell you to do something. So talk back to your emotions. What is this emotion trying to communicate with me? What does this emotion suggest that I should do right now? If I'm angry, what am I angry about? If I feel sad, what am I feeling sad about? If I don't feel good today, what's bothering me and how can I feel good? So talk back to your emotions and find that hidden message in your emotions. If ever you're facing overwhelming emotions and those emotions are making your body go out of balance, then there are a few tips that you can apply while managing negative emotions. One of the best self-management tools is taking control of your breathing. When our emotions are triggered, our body changes and often our breathing changes with it. For example, if you're angry, your breathing can become faster and shallow. This change in the body sends the brain the message that something is wrong and you need to do something about it. And your brain prepares your body to handle that situation. It can be hard to think in a moment of intense emotion, and instead we can intentionally shift our focus from our thoughts to our bodies. You can purposely use your breath to calm down your body, helping to calm down your thoughts. Bottom line, if you want to change that feeling, you can just change the way you breathe. And a change in your breathing changes your mental and physical state of your body. Deep diaphragmatic breathing is advisable when you feel the tension in your body caused by anger, anxiety, sadness, or just feeling low. Mindfulness is another great tool to manage negative emotions, and science has repeatedly proven that there are many benefits to mindfulness in relation to stress reduction, anxiety, and depression, and other issues with people. Mindfulness has two key aspects. First, it is the non-judgmental awareness of what is. It is seeing without interpreting, evaluating, or appraising. It is the experience of everything that goes on around you without thoughts about value or worth. Imagine when you watch this video, you are purely focused on the content that I'm delivering to you. You are not judging it, you are absorbing whatever makes sense to you, and you discard what that does not make sense to you. Your mind does that filtration based on what you want to absorb. That is reticular activating system, or the RAS, doing its job, and that's okay with me. But forget about how I look, how I speak, or my accent, or my grammatical or punctuation errors. You just focus on the insight that I'm sharing with you. And as you absorb them, don't think of anything else. If a thought creeps in your mind on how you want to apply this information in your life, just put a pause to this video. Write some notes and make a decision. Schedule it and just go do it. That's what being mindfulness is about. You're not thinking something else. You're not getting distracted. You are in this moment with me. And that's mindfulness. Secondly, mindfulness is focused attention on the present moment rather than the future or the past. It is seeing, hearing, and feeling what's happening right now. Not getting caught up in what if thoughts about about like possible catastrophes of the future or regretful thoughts about the losses and mistakes that you have already made in the past. You're not thinking, oh, I should have watched this video a long time ago, and switching to a past regretful mode. No, that's not what it is. Mindfulness is attention to the river of now, your ongoing experience of what is happening in your mind, in your body, and the environment that surrounds you. It simply means be here in the moment. One of the best ways to practice mindfulness is just focusing on your breaths and train your mind to pay attention to the now. And the more you intentionally train your mind to focus on the present moment, the more you learn not to swing your mind to the past or to the future, except when you're deliberately doing it for a reason. Mindful breathing quiets emotions because it focuses our attention away from the emotional upsets that we may be going through. So instead of being caught up in your thoughts, you're noticing your breath. You're here in the moment. You're here in the present. So use regular breathing and mindfulness exercise to achieve an emotional balance. Whenever you feel that your emotions are overriding your mental state, use it also to manage your daily stressors so that you can develop that mental muscle that can take on your daily challenges of your everyday modern life. Another way you can manage your emotions is through positive talk and creative visualizations. If you're dealing with daily stressors of life, like some people are pushing your buttons, then creatively engage in visualization as how you would respond to that stimuli differently. Instead of getting angry, see yourself responding calmly and differently to that people who are pushing your buttons. Train your mind, because creative visualization has the power to override your automatic negative reactions. Creative visualization can alter your neural wiring because it follows the principles of neuroplasticity. The more you practice creative visualization and engaging your mind with elevated emotions, the more it changes your neural wiring and hence your behavior itself. Visualizing yourself, managing your emotions, and showing a behavior is a great way to practice your new skills and make them into habits. So practice in your mind. The more you visualize how you want things to be, the more your brain wires to make it happen. Whenever you're overwhelmed with negative emotions or stressful thoughts, engage yourself in some self-soothing activities. Self-soothing is any activity or experience or pastime you can find relaxing, and it can be very pleasurable. It can be as simple as listening to music, taking a hot bath, or practicing yoga, or going for a walk, or doing relaxation exercises such as deep breathing, or whatever you like doing as it reduces stress. So take time off, make it a habit, because we become what we practice on a daily basis. So learn to smile and stay cheerful intentionally. Also, did you know that when you laugh and smile, your face sends signals to your brain that you're happy? Your brain cognitively responds to the nerves and muscles in your face to determine that emotional state. Biting on a pencil and curling your lips upward while you work on your computer, for example, can send the signals to your brain that you're enjoying the task that you're doing. So try on different hacks and try different outcomes to put yourself in a cheerful state or a peaceful state of mind, just a state of mind that you received when you're born with. Remember, being a pleasant personality is a habit of thinking and feeling. Being a grumpy one also is a habit of thinking and feeling. So we can develop a mood through the habit of thinking and feeling. Then why not develop happy moods? As I have established earlier, self-management is about taking charge of your emotional state. This means your emotions are not influenced by the circumstances you are in, but the circumstances that you create in your mind. You can take charge of your emotional state by changing the way you think and feel. You can also change the body posture, and you can change what you feel. You see, you can't feel depressed when your heads are up. Try doing it. You can't. You can't feel incompetent or undeserving with your chest up. How we use our body postures can alter our mental and emotional state. So use your body to create the mental state you want. You want to feel confident? Take that Wonder Woman pose. Also, watch out. People around us can influence our emotions. Emotions are contagious. We can feel what others feel. We can catch an emotion, especially from people who are very close to us. And we can feel the same emotions. This means if there is too much of drama in the life of people people who are close to you, then that drama can rub onto your lives. Many people are unduly influenced by the moods and attitudes of the people around them. This happens at work very often. Are you aware of instances where you or a member of your team has been influenced in this way? If so, then you may need to make a conscious effort to insulate yourself so that you retain your objectivity in such situations. Be watchful about the people you hang out with. Their attitudes, their moods can be rubbed onto you. Just as the way you get affected by other people's emotions, you also affect other people emotionally. Therefore, a part of emotional regulation is having the sensitivity to the context others are in and practicing your emotional responses accordingly. You have the power to lighten up other people's mood, to make them laugh. So use those powers. Don't make others' life worse than what already is with your emotional entanglement.